To his supporters, he is a leader who restored a conservative identity long marginalized by the state. To his critics, he is the man who dismantled the foundations of the secular republic. And to analysts, Recep Tayyip Erdoğan is the most consequential figure in modern Turkish politics. After more than 20 years at the center of power, Turkey is approaching a rare political moment, the post-Erdoğan era. The man who came to power in 2003 and reshaped Turkey's political system, economy, and foreign policy now faces an opponent he cannot negotiate with: time. Constitutionally, his current term ends in 2028. Under the existing rules, he is not allowed to run again, but in Ankara, constitutions are not always read literally. And the real question is no longer whether Erdoğan will leave, but how, when, and who comes after him. In a widely discussed report, The Economist argued that preparations for life after Erdoğan are no longer hypothetical. They are already being debated inside Turkey's power circles. Three factors are driving this shift. The absence of a clear successor within the ruling AKP. They have opened a door that remained firmly shut for years, a succession struggle. When Erdoğan first took office in 2003, his powers were limited. He governed as prime minister under a parliamentary system. Over time, he engineered a series of political changes that culminated in a powerful presidential system in 2017. But the irony is striking. The system designed to strengthen his rule is now the very thing that restricts it. The law is clear: only 2 presidential terms under the new system. In theory, Erdoğan has 3 options. One is a completely new constitution, requiring 400 seats, which he does not have. Another is a constitutional amendment via referendum, needing 360 seats, also unlikely. The third option is early elections, approved by Parliament before 2028, allowing him to run again. The third option is the most realistic and the most familiar in Turkish political history. But even if this path succeeds, one variable cannot be bypassed: physical endurance. In Turkey, discussing the president's health is not casual speculation. It is a deeply sensitive subject, often treated as a state secret. Erdoğan is now in his 70s. His public appearances are less frequent than they once were. There are no official medical reports indicating serious incapacity, but according to The Economist, Turkey's political elite has begun asking a question that was once unthinkable. What if Erdoğan were forced to step aside suddenly? That question exposes a deeper problem. The AKP is no longer a conventional political party. It has evolved into a system built around a single individual. Remove Erdoğan, and the party risks losing its center of gravity. In this potential vacuum, 4 figures are frequently mentioned behind closed doors, each representing a different model of power. First, Hakan Fidan, the silent state man, Turkey's current foreign minister and former intelligence chief. He is not a crowd-pleasing politician. He does not campaign loudly or dominate headlines, but his influence comes from deep institutional trust. He represents continuity and stability, a figure acceptable to the security establishment and the state bureaucracy. According to The Economist, Fidan is the system's safest choice, not because he is popular, but because he is predictable. Next, Süleyman Soylu, hardline politics. The former interior minister and one of the most polarizing figures in Turkish politics. He embodies a nationalist, confrontational style and enjoys strong support among conservative grassroots voters. But he is also deeply divisive, admired by loyalists and distrusted by many inside the state. His rise could energize the base, but at the cost of sharper internal fractures. Then, Selçuk Bayraktar, the face of New Turkey, a defense engineer, drone pioneer, and Erdoğan's son-in-law. Unlike others, he comes from outside traditional politics. He symbolizes technological success rather than political power. He is popular among younger Turks, but lacks governing experience, raising a critical question. Is symbolism enough to run a country? Finally, Bilal Erdoğan, the most sensitive name. He holds no official government position, but operates through large educational and youth organizations. The idea of political inheritance inside a republican system remains deeply controversial in Turkey, even among AKP supporters. Polls consistently suggest that Turkish voters prefer institutional figures, not family heirs. Any successor will inherit a struggling economy, regional instability, and mounting external pressure. But the most dangerous challenge is not economic or military, it is symbolic. Modern Turkey was founded in rejection of dynastic rule. Any attempt to transform power into a family legacy could reopen unresolved historical tensions. As 2027 approaches, early elections remain a real possibility. Successor names circulate quietly. Political alliances form in silence. And for now, one fact remains clear. Erdoğan has not played his final move. The real question is whether Turkey can move beyond an era defined by one leader, without instability or rupture.